What's good, world family? It's your boy Unico Williams. We here with What's the Trend today. It's going down. What it do, Zelmay?
It's your boy Laugh Zelmay, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. And you know you better check in, cause it's What's the Trend.
Yeah. Yo, we got a lot to talk about today. Just a quick rundown. You got two people that's on that are great, quote unquote R&B / pop singer. One more pop than the other. One more R&B than the other. One is coming out of a great situation, and one is going into a great situation. And it's just solar opposites at this point. Also, we got a lot of football going on, and probably something else I forgot to say. Oh, yeah. We got some people that's backtracking a little bit, but that's what Cowboys do. Zell May, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed, highly favored. They see the topic down below. This is What's the Trend, the first podcast episode of What's the Trend. We got rid of What's New 99 for the people that's asking. Well, then we got rid of the podcast. We got through with keeping that 9. We got so many different stuff we want to do. Do you hear me coming out? Too, so you got all that kind of stuff, so look forward to it. Backseat Gaming is supposed to come out next week. We got everybody, people loving Just a Fan. That's like highest average view things, and they still watching. West Song Blood on Me is going crazy right now. It's a lot going on, man. That's trending in overall 99 world. Unico, what's trending in the real world right now? Slow week.
Well, what's trending is that trendy ass shirt you got on right now.
Yeah.
For the listeners, we got the Zell Reacts, the Zell Reacts official workout gear. I think I seen Cam Newton in that mug the other day too. That was kind of cool. He was out there working down there with his kids. He do his little cooking show with the kids, and he was in that Zell React. So that's what's up. Make sure that we find a way to Photoshop that onto a picture. Also,
I put in the thumbnail. Hey, by the way, this is actually, I ain't even told none of y'all this. This is actually very comfortable. It's a little more faded than I wanted it because I wanted to be shiny, but it still look cool if y'all see it. For the people on YouTube, for the people on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, all those, hit that follow button, by the way. Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and get the merch, bro. The merch link is in bio, so the people that want to see the merch, I got it right here. This is the Zell Reacts athletic muscle shirt, so it's dope. It feels great, by the way. It feels amazing.
Some people will work out in it, and some people gonna sleep in it. But either way it goes, just make sure you in that thing, man. But
it's very comfortable, by the way. Like people say I'm hyping up my own merch. Like normally, I didn't even hype up the other merch I got a long time ago. But this is actually, I'm like, oh, I was gonna just wear it for the show, but it felt so good. I wore it. Like I actually slept in it.
I knew it. It was good sleep apparel.
It is. So go get that merch, and don't buy R. Kelly merch. I see people selling outside his court case.
No doubt. I'm thinking about it, man. When I was watching what's that boy trial name that killed George Floyd? Derek Chauvin. We sat there and we watched that whole trial. I didn't watch R. Kelly's 18 days of trial. Was that on like court TV or anything?
I don't know. I didn't even watch it either. I felt like nobody advertised it.
I went to Twitter one day and it's like R. Kelly's guilty on federal charges. I was like, wait, what?
That's what I said. I was like, when did we have a court case?
When did this happen? We covered that. We covered that on Do You Hear Me? We covered that a lot. About the trial. Gave you everyday analysis on Twitter. You see the Twitter and all that stuff. You know how my boy Zell may make sure y'all can see all that. Unico_Williams. And they was just like, yeah, he got hit. He's guilty.
Yeah,
okay. We saw it coming. It would have been interesting had he somehow gotten acquitted, because all this is word of mouth at this point. I didn't know that was. I didn't know, and after a lot of years at that. But man, a lot of people came up there. Here's some things I heard about this trial, by the way, and then feel free to take off. Um, it was like 50 people that testified against this man. So he went through COVID, he went through all this, but they had a whole bunch of people come on there. That's why it basically essentially took like 18 days. And then there were some people that came on there, R. Kelly's defense, and when they went on there, they wasn't exactly on his side. A lot of them was like, no, for real, he ain't do that, but it was some sketchy stuff. Or he didn't quite do that, but you know, it'd be better off for me if he was out because I had some more money. You know, I think the defense attorney said, y'all watching Surviving R. Kelly, but a lot of y'all surviving off R. Kelly. So it was a very interesting trial, but he's hit. We don't know. He's not sentenced yet, but he's just hit. You know, I think they're looking at a lifetime sentence for him probably for this stuff. What do you think about the king of whatever genre he was? I guess we say he's R&B, but R. Kelly had a very, very different kind of vibe. A genius, a musical genius at that. And then I'll ask you another question after that.
I would say he's the second best singer behind Whitney Houston. Well, second or third, depending on who you got. If you the music episode, we're gonna do one on Just the Fans a little bit later, future reference. So again, but yeah, we're gonna do one on best artist. Besides Whitney Houston, R. Kelly up there. It's a few more that's up there with him, and you gotta decide. But ain't that Believe I Can Fly? People can't sing that. You don't hear that karaoke a lot. Them notes look different, though.
Like, yeah, because you don't even try Whitney like that.
Yeah, certain people, like, you don't try Whitney Houston songs unless she do got one song where she's like energetic and screaming. But
Dance with Somebody. I mean, she got a couple.
Yeah, I think it might be like
that range.
I think it might be Dance with Somebody. She wasn't trying to like go crazy singing. But with them songs that Whitney Houston just sit there and don't move. Oh, people don't do them at karaoke. They don't try that. No, that range different.
They good with Whitney on that first like maybe 45 seconds of the song. After that, you can't get with her hooks. You ain't got the range for that. Because you can go in there because I'll Always Love You. Oh, you can go in and then she kind of sneak up on you. And I'm like, oh, you can't hit that, can you? Now, Unico Williams can. Shout out to being in U choir, but at the church house. But yeah, man, R. Kelly do got a bag. I mean, I don't, because listen, all right, I get it. I get the victims. I understand all that. I would hate for my daughter to be a part of that. But man, there was some crazy testimony in there. Like some backup dancers came up in there. I was like, yeah. We walked in the room and R. Kelly was doing things to Leah, rest her soul. And like, it was man, the testimonies was so damning. And you start thinking about what kind of, I'm coming off as dude as a psycho.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, I want people to understand, if we're being honest, go back and listen to some of his songs. Again, I've said this before. The guy said he was the Pied Piper. For anybody that know the story of the Pied Piper, I think me and Gina could have went over this when we heard about this case first time. But I'm going to say it again for the new people who wasn't here. The Pied Piper is a story of a guy who was accused of something bad, came back to a village that they accused him of, kind of like Freddy Krueger stuff. So he played music and lured kids away. That's who the Pied Piper is. I know a lot of people don't know that story or that fairy tale. By the way, if you ever hear real fairy tales, the originals, they all like creepy. But what he did was, that's what the Pied Piper did. R. Kelly called himself the Pied Piper. He paid parents to let their daughters, like 14 years old, spend the night with him. And this is all legit. Like, he admits to doing this part. I'm like, bro, what on earth are you paying parents to let their daughters spend the night with you? And why the parents aren't arrested for putting their daughters to spend the night with a grown man?
Yeah, when Surviving R. Kelly came out, that was my main concern. I was like, we talking a whole lot about about what R. Kelly did? Are we talking about the quote unquote? And don't get it twisted. It's still wrong, but like in R. Kelly should definitely pay his debt to society based off of that stuff. But at the same time, these are parents that are giving him permission to do this, and none of these parents are on trial or nothing for this. I guess that's so weird about the legal system. They get who they want to get, and maybe you get a high profile guy like R. Kelly, and that's your career as a government person. Maybe it doesn't make sense to get Aaliyah's parents for this stuff, but well, he was the real monster. No, who was the real monster? Because you wanted your daughter to chase fame and you wanted the money for it, and you got it in the 90s when nothing was traceable.
Yo, the 90s is a wild time if you go back. Very
different.
Did you gotta watch it. I haven't gotten fully through it yet, but that dark side of wrestling and the plane, those stories are crazy too with Ric Flair and them. So those are crazy. I'm like, the 90s and early 2000s was a different time. And I don't condone none of it because I don't agree with none of it. But people were wilding back then. Basically, it does what Donald Trump said on that little interview and that little videotape. Not trying to get political, but he said, hey, if you're a celebrity, people let you do what you want because you can pay them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people live like that, especially over there in those areas of wealth and all that. People did what they want. And it's a serious case, but if our kids are going to jail, we can make the Boondocks was right, dog. Did you see that episode of the Boondocks when people was outside just playing his music at the court? It happened in real life.
Everybody's dancing. I was like, man, they even had his vocals and his vibe down in that courtroom scene. That was hilarious. And then, but yeah, they were dancing outside the courtroom, and then we look up on Twitter, and there's a whole scene, like a real life thing. Like they are dancing, they are playing his music. They playing some music I ain't heard before from R. Kelly. And I was like, yeah, these are diehard fans.
So I heard a song they were playing in the background. I'm like, yo, the dude just said age ain't nothing but a number in this song, dog. This ain't the song to play at this kind of case. What's wrong with you? Why would you play age ain't nothing but a number, bro? Why, Joe? Why would you go outside at this case trying like, I support R. Kelly and then play age ain't nothing but a number?
I mean, I think that says a lot about you if you was dumb enough to really play that. If you went supporting him, you might, because that says two things. Maybe you acknowledging. Are you acknowledging the fact that he's doing that and you approve? Or
yeah, R. Kelly got some wild songs. Go back and he say something.
Or is your shuffle just off and you didn't want to look like you was just passing up? Either way it goes, look like you condone it, or your shuffle just messed you up in an inopportune time. One of the two.
I'm gonna say, bro, I might give them some leeway. Maybe they was on Spotify and just click the R. Kelly playlist and just play it.
That's what I think.
And like press shuffle and whatnot, and then it just happened to come on. I'm like, oh, this ain't the one.
Or you making a political statement?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're being sarcastic.
I don't know what's going on in the world, but yeah, R. Kelly is getting prison time. We'll figure out how long he got. That was basically the #1 trend of the week. So that was a big story. We got another big story. Let me switch it over. We know we got this thing at the bottom now. Britney Spears' conservatorship is finally over. That's what's trending second right now. Yo, Unico, have you heard of this? This is insane. I didn't know rich people could have somebody like can go to the court and say, hey, Unico got rich, and your parents can just be like, as a 30-year-old man, be like, hey, he can't handle this money. I handle his money, like Jamie Spears did.
I just want y'all to know I was just looking up just what is on Spotify at this point for R. Kelly.
Is age but a number on that? It ain't even called age ain't but number. No, I forgot the name of
it. They have let me see our playlist. Let me see what they're called. They do have it. This is R. Kelly. So he still got that on there. R. Kelly slow jam mix, and we want to see his age ain't nothing but a number. I'm just gonna check real quick. I'm gonna get right to Brittney. I just want to double check. Age ain't Aaliyah, that's Aaliyah's song, and what he was in it.
It might, yeah, I think so. I don't know. He might have wrote it for. I
He
remember he
might
had something
have.
to do with it. Yo, that is
Anyway,
sick. That is
Britney Spears.
sick. Like he wrote a he put a 17-year-old to write age ain't nothing but a number while he was marrying. Never mind. We're gonna go to Britney Spears.
So, okay, one more point on this. One more point on this. So, things change, and people, society changes, and society pretty much dictates what's accepted and what's not. And I'm not caping for R. Kelly right now. I just now, like I said, I heard some pretty crazy stuff. Like he really was like a dominating kind of guy. Like ask if you can use the bathroom, that kind of guy. Okay, that's beyond me at this point. I don't want to ever be that kind of guy ever in my life. But okay, so like one girl came there and said it was she was supposed to do an interview with R. Kelly and end up spending 4 days drugged over there. What? We don't ever want that kind of situation, but let's talk about society. And I mean, we can take it back to Bill Cosby and whatever he was doing. But more importantly, let's take it back to a time when there when in what different cultures?
Uh,
European European culture does it or did it at one time. I know that Middle East culture does it. They gonna tell you getting married to this 12 or 13 or you getting married to this 13-year-old.
my my grandpa willed and my grandma. He was like 30. She was like 14. Her parents like, you can marry this man because he gonna help you out. And like, I was like, what?
And that was a long time ago though, right?
Yeah, that would
That's
be
not acceptable
19. My
now.
grandma would have been 1934. She would have married my grandpa. Cause yeah, Aunt Anna Lee was about 12 years older than my daddy. So she had him about 2 years after. Yeah, it was like 30s to 1930.
That was acceptable. It's not now. I just kind of feel like it's wrong for them to come back for something that in a sense I don't know if I can hear that in 90 whatever and be like that was cool 27 and 13 or 14. I don't know if that was acceptable back then, but there was a point in time when that was acceptable. And I'm just saying I don't know if it was right to go back and get him, and he's like 55 now. I
Oh,
don't know.
you talking about R. Kelly still had women in his closet. Then you know, maybe Bill, but R. Kelly had people still in the house making videos from the attic, dog. I said, "What the f you at, girl? R. Kelly ain't never. I'm
Yeah.
having fun at the park." I'm like, "You in the attic? You are not at the park." Yo, people down here saying like, "Oh, I thought you were talking about Brittney." I'm like, "Oh, we get to that in a minute." I know it's at the bottom. I ain't change it back.
I need a tell all at some point though, because I do want the psychological analysis of this. Like, okay, the dude can't read. He's a mega genius though with instruments and can sing. He's from Chicago. He's had a quote unquote rough life, kinda. What made him start pulling up to McDonald's and pulling chicks, no matter how old they are?
He
What
probably
made him do that?
we got one day we're gonna have to do that on Man Cave where we talk about how people's life dictate that because I heard he wasn't a victim when he was young from like a man. So
So
we
that's
got
where I'm at.
yeah, we're
But
gonna
Britney
get that.
Spears is definitely a victim at some point by her own father. Um, it turns out so her dad had 100% control of everything. Pretty much, she was doing her money, everything. And there was a point in time where everybody kind of thought that Britney was crazy. But imagine what if at some point Kim Kardashian became conservator, or even worse, Miss Jenner, date mama. What if she became the conservator for Kanye because he was kind of saying and doing some wild stuff where I think a judge might be like, yeah, he's not sane enough to handle his $1 billion, so yeah,
Yeah, that's scary that somebody can just how do you prove that they didn't like drug you the whole time to make you crazy? Or like how do you prove how do we know what lifestyle that Brittany lived thanks to Jamie as she was growing up in Mississippi down there in Macomb? You know what I'm saying? What kind of lifestyle were they living? We don't know. So why is this happening? Like, did he, like, when they went to LA and she was doing all these shows and maybe she was nervous, did he give her drugs and stuff? Like, you don't ever know this thing. Then all of a sudden,
That's a good point.
yeah, and all of a sudden, like, cause you're like, oh, I need to perform, cause a lot of performers need like something to perform, or because they get nervous and they need something to lower the nerves. So he's like, hey, take this.
I can't imagine anybody that does that.
Yeah, but so he go up. As he, hey, drinking it probably, as long as you stay in the house and don't drive, probably the safest one besides probably smoking weed or something. But yeah, so basically, like, what if he's giving her the drugs and then she go crazy and then he like never take drugs until then he just takes all the money she had and just do what he wants with it? Like, you know how dangerous that is? Like, how dangerous?
Like, is he even still with the mom?
I have no clue, but the stories was wild, and I'm like, that's like having your, even though I get it, because you, like, sometimes you might need something, but they got to be like a safe way so they can't spend the funds like that. Like, you can only spend the funds on me in a way. Like it has to be like a check and balances. Like, can somebody call Rick Ross to make sure that like a correctional officer to make sure that all the numbers right? Like, what, sir, what do you spend this on? Like, is there a legal process to handle that? Because from what I'm hearing, he was spending money on himself. And I'm like, nah, fam, you work for yourself. You don't spend my money. Like they have to make laws to have, if they have conservatorships, you have to have laws like you can't spend the money on yourself. But then, you don't no telling what can happen out here. Like, maybe you can manipulate and just stay in the house with me and then own a big house. But other than that, like, no, you ain't buying your own house and then have me in my house that I already bought. No. Because you don't know what that could lead to.
Yeah. It's, but we just don't know, man. I think that you made the best point of this, honestly. Is we don't know. Like, maybe what did they get her addicted to? Just like in football, for the longest time in NFL, you know, them doctors will just put you on stuff to help you play
and
get
them
through
shots
practice.
They put in that chair. They just stopped it, by the way. They just banned it.
Man, you can't have these dudes not feeling pain. Yeah, you need to know that you hurt.
Yeah, they just stopped it. I forgot what it's called, but they gave it like a little shot in your arm and it just get you juiced up. But then some football players like, hey man, at least let me smoke weed then. So I don't know how this gonna go. We're gonna see how that works. Yo, bro, because everybody know when somebody get hurt in sports, that some, like, they go in the back and they gonna give them that shot. You heard that, right? Oh, you gonna get that shot? Yeah. Like, this dude broke it. This dude sprained his ankle. Both of them. How he gonna take a shot? He'll be back. He sprained both ankle. Carson Wentz. How he just gonna be back? They gonna give him the shot and he'll be right back out here. Now, I know that's not normal.
I think we need to figure out what exactly is in the shot. So I ain't gonna get into that because that's gonna get me talking about that one word that we probably don't want to say, because YouTube and everything else they don't want y'all to have discussions about that.
They done got more likes on it now. They sent me.
Oh really?
Yeah, I tagged you in it on Twitter. They like, hey bro, y'all can talk a little bit. Can't go too like sensitive because people sensitive, but you can talk. You can cuss a little more. You can talk about a little sensitive stuff a little bit more. We're gonna be a little more less. I think they felt like people weren't watching it much, so they probably like, hey, get back to being a little wild. You know what I'm saying? Now, not full on crazy, but you can get a little. You can cuss now.
like who are you to just put disclaimers on my stuff? Because I'd be like, man, be careful out here, Corona still, and then you got a little disclaimer underneath every status.
Oh yeah, Facebook did you like that, didn't
it? Man, I'm still going through it. I'm gonna fix them one day. I'm just not gonna do it today. But it's like, hey, you ain't no person that we know, so you can't. We're not gonna allow nobody. I'm like, man, I am not Donald Trump. I'm not the president. I don't have a million followers. I wish they would do that to LeBron.
It's Toradol. NFL players are being urged to limit the use of Toradol, which has been coming to players for years. Ian Rappaport, they talking about limit. They telling teams they can't use it this much. That's what it's called. We gotta look up one day. We gotta have an episode where we look up what's in Toradol.
Absolutely. I think it goes. I think that goes hand in hand. You made a good point. Is what if Britney was out there like because she started at a young age. She was on the Disney Channel, and she was like a kid.
Yeah.
And so you get when you think about it, it's like you when you going through puberty and all that stuff, you still you still gonna have to shiver sometimes. Sometimes you feel good about yourself, and the other days maybe you feel bloated or something. You just never know. They might have been slipping a little something. I don't know.
By the way, that crap, and that's the shot they was giving Taylor when he punctured his lung, and then they got him out of there.
Man, punctured his lung, trying to get. So whatever he was going through, it hurt. He was going through something. He was going through some pain. That might have been God telling him to sit his ass out.
Yeah, so hey man,
You ain't right. You not right. You got to sit your ass out this game. And now he in Texas.
He doing his thing though. He played well, but then he got hurt. They got
well, he's injured. He was injured last week.
He played well when he been out there. So shout out to Tyrell Taylor. I'm happy
Yeah.
Britney Spears got a little bit of control over her life. Hopefully she's well and mentally, because like I said, being celebrity early on might be. It's hard to be a celebrity. You saw Michael Jackson's. You see it with a lot of people that get celebrity young. They go through stuff because they never functioned outside of fame, and fame is a drug. Like if you let it take you, it take you. You think you can do whatever. Going to the R. Kelly situation, you think you can buy whatever. You think you can pay for whatever. You got a lawyer that can make stuff go away. So you do hard drugs because you get nervous and you want to not feel nothing when you're doing these performances and all kind of stuff, man. It's a lot goes into it behind the scenes that people don't know. You got fake friends you got to deal with. Cause like I said on the one episode with me and Unico, man, even on the come up, people are like, "Hey, bro, I see you. Yeah, don't forget about me." Like, bro, you ain't never spoke to me unless you saw my video hit like 10K views, and I brag about it. Like you ain't spoke to me in 4 years. Do you see me put out a video? That happened. That also happened when I did a video. I'm like, hey, my video got 20K views in like a day. I do like, hey, bro, don't forget about me. So just imagine when you already got it at 15 and how many fake people come in your life. That would be insane.
Man, yeah. Justin Timberlake handled it well though somehow. So
he one of the few.
He's from Memphis. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Justin had a group with him too. So he had some group of some older people. So maybe they mentored him more so than a solo act. You know what I mean? He had Nick and all them. Wasn't it Nick? Or am I thinking about the wrong?
You thinking about the Backstreet Boys?
Yeah. Oh, who was it? See?
I can't even think of all the people because.
Yo, write in the comments. Let me know which group was which because I kind of get them all confused. I just throw all NSYNC and Backstreet Boys into the same group, and just like I don't even remember which one Justin was in. I just remember they were together.
That's the next verses, dog.
Oh yeah, that verses will be lit.
Backstreet.
Everybody else besides Justin gonna be fat and out of shape, trying to do the moves, and I'm just gonna enjoy it.
So you got two songs. You gotta go 2 songs. NSYNC coming with that gone. Yes, they can hit you with bye bye bye. They ain't trying to do nothing with no choreography. They need somewhere they can sit in them chairs and sing. That's how NSYNC gonna come through. And then Backstreet Boys got to come with the I Want It That Way. That's the clash. That's gonna be the clash right there. That's bigger than the only thing bigger is somehow it's a hidden track with Jadakiss somewhere that one of them got that they just never released the Jadakiss track. And he just come out there on that to verses and then boom, he's gonna shut it down.
Start dissing everybody. Oh y'all gain weight. Y'all ain't on this stage right now.
It's New York.
Yeah, it's gonna be. But yeah, shout out to Brittney. Shout out to everybody else, man. Shout out. And we got another trend. We want to go to the third trend of the week. Dez Bryant went on I Am Athlete featuring Brandon Marshall, Chad Ochocinco, you know, the group Fred Taylor and all them. And they talked about a lot of stuff. We learned about his mother, crazy life, Jerry Jones, all those things. And his story was insane. Because if you actually listen to it, it's crazy. But he brought up Colin Kapernick and to trend third on Twitter this week. It appeared a lot of people didn't like what he said. So basically what he said, and I'm going to throw it over to Joe to get his thoughts. He said People was rocking with Colin Kaepernick, not Dez Bryant, of course. He said he wanted his money, so he wasn't rocking like that. But
he got kids to feed.
Yeah, that's what he said. But he said other people's rocking with him. And then he did a complaint that a lot of people, specifically on the media side, has echoed. Where were you after? Like, we never heard you speak. What have you done? For people that don't know references, he got a lot of nonprofits, a bunch of stuff. Do I know? I don't know the man, so I'm not caping for him. I just do know he got nonprofits. My whole thing is, I don't care what y'all think about me. I'm doing my thing, man. The private. I don't need I'm not gonna have an Eat the Rich shirt right here, going to like the Met Gala. You know what I'm saying? We not. I just took a shot at ALC. Shout out to the ALC fan, but hey, man, I'm just saying I'm not gonna do that because I'm not a performative person. What I'm gonna do, I even do it now. Like I'm helping the kids and doing. I do it behind the scenes, give money, help, make flyers, do what I can do, blah blah blah. Chill in the back in the corner and just watch y'all have fun. I don't have to be on stage, even if I'm good on stage. I don't have to be on stage unless I'm asked specifically by the people that do it. I'm just gonna sit back and do my thing. You know what I'm saying? By the way, go watch that event I did. It's about Black excellence, civil rights event. It's on my live, so it's in the live. So hit that like and subscribe. You met a dope new screenplay writer. She wrote some plays. It's an amazing experience. You learn a little bit about some of the freedom riders from Mississippi and what they went through. A little bit of preview on it. You didn't see the whole movie. It's a movie they got out, but it showed a documentary and stuff. So go watch that. It's dope if you care about stuff like that. Like I said, just doing stuff behind the scenes, little bits, whatever you gotta do. Like I said, I'm not a performative person, but he said, "Where were you? You never spoke out. People lost their jobs." Unico, your thoughts, and then we're gonna have a discussion.
I mean, he said he had to feed his kids, but at the same time, you still expecting him to do the work, and you ain't do the work. Now, I can't say that he doesn't do anything or he has never done anything for the Black community. I don't want to go out there and say that, but at the same time, don't speak about what somebody else is doing to try and make the world better. You worry about what you doing. And I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling that. Like, don't use 100. No, like I get it. He didn't need to speak on that. He just needed to go out there, and I'ma just assume that's why you not. Don't say it out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm assume that's why you're not taking a knee. Jerry Jones, your boss said don't do it. And he's getting now, in the last few years, he's getting what would have probably happened to him back then. You out the league, and you wasn't supposed to be. But I guess he got his bag, so he wasn't too much tripping. And he took care of his kids, I guess. So I just think that, he switched sides of the ball. He stopped being a wide receiver, and now you trying to backpedal like a DB. No, cuz. That's not how it works. You got to pick a side and trust in it. You got to do the research. You got to see what's going on. But the thing is, I don't think there's nothing to research. Stop shooting Black people. like that's it. Stop shooting Black people as police officers, and stop. I mean, man, I'm telling you, I watch all these First Amendment audits and all this stuff. I watch all that stuff. And it's a lot of police that really have a superiority complex. They really think that because now that I'm a police officer, I run the show, I have the power, I can do what I want to do. And then nobody's tighter than police officers. They tight. They can be watching you doing wrong. And they'll say, hey, you could be pleading your case like, man, I didn't even do nothing. Dude pulled me over for what? Like, well, I didn't do nothing. Now he's searching my car, and I told him don't search my car. That's wrong. And he's like, well, I see what you're saying, but, this is his traffic stop. No. No. You're supposed to step up and be like, this is wrong. What are you really trying to search his car? Whatever. But, end of the day, man, that's just where I'm at. Don't backtrack, and don't be trying to hold Colin Kaepernick accountable. He lost his career as a football player. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Don't backtrack, bro. Don't do that. What's wrong is wrong. And it goes back to what seems like to be the theme of this show today is times change. So it took for what happened to George Floyd for people to be like, you know what, Kaepernick had a point. He ain't gonna get no job though.
The whole
But Kaepernick
NFL
had a
did that,
point.
boy. Patrick Mahomes said he kneeled. Roger Goodell like, I'll kneel with Patrick. I'm like, okay. Tom Brady ain't the face no more. You want to kneel? All right, I see you, Roger. I see you. I see you, Goodell.
You know what? I can see Tom Brady actually going out of his shit. I mean, he did the whole Trump MAGA thing for a second, but
Hey, he hid that hat. Boy, they found that hat. They like he put.
and yeah, I mean, but even Tom Brady, in a sense, I mean, he's saving black men in a sense. He's saving AB. He's saving Richard Sherman at this point, apparently. But I just don't want people to get that white messiah complex either, because we know Wes Welker and and all that Wes Welker and Gronk at the end of the day, they got a key to the crib. So, but yeah, where we at on this? Where we at on this?
Yeah, I think it does what we do, bro. We are every time somebody we gotta put our name with somebody else's name and down somebody else like us. It's a syndrome. It's what we do at this point. Like I'm like it's sad. Like it's always a black person talking about a black person. I don't even talk about the ones that make me upset often. Like who I make fun of, Tucker Carlson. Them like that's who I do it, right? Besides Doc Rivers, but Doc Rivers he kind of trash, but. But that's just coaching. Ain't nothing against the man himself. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna put him down. He just, hey, ain't no Doc done coach 22 years. He good. Now he time to retire. You know what I mean? But I don't even mention I ain't mention Candace Owens that much or Jason Whitlock. I make fun of Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson. Like, cause man, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. On this YouTube platform, it's a lot of people that's just on here just to get money. And whatever way they think gonna give them money, that's the way they go. Back then, they like, I gotta feed my kid. These white people ain't having it. I gotta go do this. Now it's popular to say the opposite opinion. He knows it's gonna get attention. He might have a new show coming up. He might saw how Kwame got success or something. He might be plugging something. I didn't even watch it completely. I did watch the beginning. I don't know if he plugging something at the end because that last part when he talked about Jerry, I kind of tuned out. But him talking about his mama and the other part, I kind of heard about. But people see the opportunity to try to get on something, they do it. You see Jason Whitlock, every time Beyonce or LeBron do something, they do it. You see Candace Owens, every time somebody say something about black people, she does. Like, have you noticed these white people don't ask you about nothing else but black issues?
Yeah.
Like, they don't, like, you literally, Ben Carson, Candace Owens, you never on Fox unless it's something that black people got to complain about. I've never seen you go on Fox to talk about the debt ceiling. Like, is Candace on there talking about the debt ceiling? Or she talking about something about the white replacement theory with Tucker Carlson? Like, why are you not talking about the debt ceiling? Do they not respect your opinion enough on the debt ceiling? But again, they getting their bag. Same thing, what's the name? Just same way Dez said. Hey man, I gotta feed my family and I'm used to this lifestyle. So a lot of people on YouTube will defend or go crazy with every time some black people do, they go diss them or something. Every time some white person do, they'll defend it. Or sometimes they'll do the opposite, whichever one they think popular. That's what they do on their platform. That's what they do everywhere. People trying to get their money. YouTube has a large conservative fan base that want black people to say certain things. That's why the Highest twins became the conservative twins. It's like, why did you change your name? You did comedy. Now you don't even do comedy anymore. People do what they gotta do for money. And now I don't get mad at it. I'm just like, hey, that's what we at now, bro. We got. So he's saying what he got. I'm not. Hey, it's not. I don't even think you researched anything he did to even form your opinion. You said in your interview, I knew one day I'm gonna say this because it been bothering me. Like, so you've been waiting 3 or 4 years to get on a platform big enough to say this? You were waiting for this opportunity. You said it. I'm using his word. You were waiting on this opportunity to go viral, huh? You trending. You on What's the Trend? I don't know if it means something, but you trending on Twitter. You on What's the Trend now? Unfortunately, R. Kelly and Brittney was bigger names than you, but Your third though.
I'm gonna just leave it at this, man. I was talking to the good professor on a new series that's coming up. On that show, I'm not gonna say critical race theory, but I need y'all to know I'm talking about critical race theory. And one thing that stuck out when I was talking to the good professor, she said, you know, you can be everything in the world, but as long as you're not black, you'll be okay. And that's a mentality that even black people have. Like, at least I'm the king amongst the least. I'm the queen amongst the least. And it's talking about the whole Candace Owens thing and all that. That's how they get down. Like, let's we thought that everything came together after 9/11 and America came together. Man, we saw a whole bunch of Muslim people like be done bad, and us as black folk, yeah, we joked with the guy at the gas station. We was playing. We ain't never take violence to him and be like, America, man. We didn't do that. You remember 9/11 and how it was, and how Muslim people, Middle East people were treated. It might have just been somebody from Middle East, and they just look like man at the end. Shout out to the Indians. They just kind of look like they from the Middle East, and they was getting done bad at the gas stations and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's as black people, I don't think we was like, when 9/11 happened, we care, but we wasn't like red in the face like some of our redneck friends. Oh, not America. It wasn't like that. But this is what showed us our worth. When what happened with George Floyd happened, there was marching in Australia. There was marching in the UK. There was marching in Europe, Africa. The whole world was standing up against police brutality, period. Black people. I think that circling back to Colin Kaepernick, it wasn't real to them like it was to Kaepernick until what happened to George Floyd, when the world had no choice but to watch it. You went on Twitter, you went on Facebook, even your grandma and them, y'all go on Facebook and messed around and seen that video, and the whole world watched all 8 minutes of that video. Yeah, 7:29 minutes, but 8 minutes, probably watched the whole thing about 8 minutes or so. So, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe now Dez is woke now. He understands. And now you want to put in your 2 cents, but where were you? So that's where I'm at. Where were you? You talking about where is he at? Where are you now, Dez? So you got 2 questions to answer. So that's why I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, we got Man Cave episode. Y'all gotta watch. I'm hyping up Man Cave because we got some topics on that. We got a topic about being disenfranchised. Do that make you care least about other disenfranchised people? That's a question I want to ask, because that's something that I see that could be happening. Also, another one is how easy we turn on each other and stuff like that. How easy it is. Bro, I done seen people that diss their boss if he's black to his face, but won't disrespect his white boss, and they both the same position. At Walmart, we working together. You'll diss the assistant manager, the black one, to his face, but won't diss the white one to his face, even though the white one way crueler to you.
It's code switching stuff.
Yeah, it's a little. I'm like, this dude treat you like trash. He treat me good. He treats me well, but he treated you like trash. He dish you every day. He wrote you up. The white dude wrote you up. You won't say nothing to him. The black dude be trying to be nice, and that's also something you gotta do. You can't be nice to me, but yeah. But
that one time I gotta write you up because you really have been late all week. I have to write you up at this point.
You'll say all kind.
But now mad at me. Like, brother, how you gonna write me up for being late? Man, that white dude over there is that man Tony. He done wrote you up 30 times. This is my first time writing you up. Like, bro, stop being late. And that's how you going. But we mad at him.
Yeah, and also like the way you treat certain people in store. I know. I peep game, but we're gonna have to talk about that Man Cave. That's gonna be something. And plus, we got a whole group of people. We got all people from different ethnicities. You gonna hear some crazy stuff. Just a fan, y'all think y'all hear crazy stuff.
My
on
dude
that.
Tori's gonna be on there. He'll make sure that he'll keep us in the loop with what's going on too.
Yeah. And finally,
he's a super cool friend. Like him.
Yeah, Tori lit, man. He always my man early every day.
Lit, bro.
Ready to talk. Shout out to Tori. But Afro coming, man. Go look. He got numbers in his name, so
Yeah,
you know
man,
he's
go follow him,
dangerous.
dog.
You know
He
he's dangerous,
ready.
dog. He got numbers in his name. Anybody with numbers in their name, dangerous people on Twitter, boy. I tell
And
you,
it ain't
man.
his area code.
Oh, and we got one more topic. We talking about this weekend NFL, because NFL trends, it trends every week. We know it trends every week, so we got to talk about some football. What did you see this week? What did you like? Anything you interested in? Any storylines you going over this week? Unico.
You know when you know what you know. Have you ever heard about the story of Pandora's box? Pandora's box was just full of all the evils in the world. She got it from a gift that she had got from the god that she married. I feel like it was Hermes or maybe even Hephaestus. I can't remember. One of them lower tier gods, but she was so beautiful. But Zeus, with his hating ass, he just got to have everybody, gives her this box and was like, don't open it ever. So of course she opened it because it was like, it's a gift. It's a wedding gift. So all the world's evils come out. You know, that's a whole nother theory. And keep that for the next time you have some kind of critical theory about women, not specifically black, but women, but a lot of times specifically black. but you know, and they say that's the bane of the world. You know, at the bottom of that box, what was left in that box? Hope. The Colts gave me hope. Carson Wentz gave me hope.
Oh, shout out to Pat McAfee. Oh, two sprain.
Man, I'm sick of this dude. So I'm sick of this dude being a phenomenal personality in two great genres of warriors, which is wrestling and then football. He's great in both arenas. We love him. Carson Wentz gave me hope. I said, he's not quite Andrew Luck, but he was supposed to be he was in the conversation at some point. And he's much better than Brissett as far as throwing the ball. Well, as far as being aggressive. Man, this dude is Mr. Glass. The Colts, so when Andrew Luck left, that was a championship team. Defense, offense, best offensive line. But Jacoby Brissett wants to throw for 230 yards a game because he's not aggressive at all. So I say we get somebody like Wentz, we're going to be all right. Dude starts off camp. He's hurt, sprained ankles, sprain this, sprain that. Dude's Mr. Glass, man. But can you at least give us one more piece of hope, Wentz? All you have to do is beat Tennessee. If you're the Colts, we just need to beat Tennessee a couple times. One time, actually. You got to beat the Texans. You got to beat the Jaguars. You just have to. So that's my storyline right now. I mean, of course, I'm not worried about the Chiefs. I'm not worried about a 1-2 record from them. I'm not worried about that. That's okay. And also,
both of them was by field goals too, so like they barely lost both games. They're pretty decent teams, by the way, too. Not like they lost a trash team. And they got beat them once a year anyway.
They got real weaknesses, man. Like for real, like on defense. And I would say that quote unquote about one of the greatest defenses in recent history, the Buccaneers of last year, that somehow happened. But end of the day, that's where I'm at. I think I'm still watching the Saints. We gotta watch the Saints, man. We from down south, so obviously you gotta watch the Mississippi State team.
One of the best defenses.
You know, at this point, I'm like, the coach should have went and got Jameis for $3 million a year. That's what we should have did instead of paying Wentz, because at least Jameis coming to play.
Yo, Jameis is.
I mean, W's right now. By the way,
did you see that clip on Twitter when DeMario was doing that little? You know how they hype you up before the game.
Yeah.
And they did a little church thing. Look at your brother next to you, and Jameis looked directly in his face like this. I'm like, Jameis, you go to ghetto churches. I know country. You do. You looking like your grandma used to do, and she look at folks in church. I see you now. You know how they get down and be like, and it's like, look at your neighbor. I see you, neighbor. I'm like, why do y'all want to be?
You know how he is, and I would, I go to war with Jameis Winston as a quarterback, by the way. So I guess it's supposed to be a pretty good Sunday night game. I can't think of who it is, but I haven't really been paying attention. It's been
tonight. We got
interesting.
we got the Bengals and Jags, so that's we not caring about that game at all.
Joe Burrow versus Trevor Lawrence.
Jamar Chase is eating, by the way.
And after they was talking all that stuff,
he was like, man. And by the way, like we said on the podcast, he not lying. If you look at a college football or NFL football, it's less white lines to see those little lines. It's like less, and it's way bigger. So he's not lying. But then you be like, oh, he might not adjust to the NFL. The man got like 2 touchdowns a game, so I'm pretty sure he's okay.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. I'm and if I'm doing picks, and y'all can tell me how I was right tomorrow. Definitely Cincinnati Bengals take this one, because Urban still think he recruiting. It's like, no, that's not how this works in the NFL.
Yo, all the rookies are struggling besides Trey Lance, who is not playing. Poor Justin Fields got sacked 9 times. Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are throwing 3 picks a game.
And I told y'all to leave that. I said, leave that boy alone this year. They don't have the offensive line. From Justin Fields, leave that boy alone.
Put Andy Dalton back in and try to save them, because 9 sacks is insane. And then people bring up the fact that he said, oh, the NFL seems slow. Hey, rookies, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Do not play in preseason and say the NFL. So I have seen multiple of y'all do that.
You know how many people got to be on the NFL roster? Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it's got to be 52. And you got the scout team. But in preseason, it's hella football players there. So they got catch from D3. You would have ate up if they was in the SEC. They just don't know that because you was eating in D3. So, man, I went to a D3 school, went to Anderson University. I was trying to play 4 sports. And dog, we had the Detroit Lions come there for our running back. But I tell you right now, man, he wasn't NFL. He wasn't an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry to say. He was a nice guy though.
Shout out to him. Shout
out to the Detroit Lions, man.
But yeah,
I showed when I seen him out there, I was like, give me the ball. Man, I was playing my freshman ass, but it's cool.
But yeah, man, you playing again. I'm gonna tell you how important the preseason. Dak ain't played in like 300 days almost, 200 some days. He didn't even take a snap in preseason. That's how much NFL worried about preseason. A quarterback who ain't played like most of the year last year didn't even play preseason. Like, it's not important. And then he goes out there and plays. He's been playing amazing lately. So, like, outside of Patrick Mahomes, most people didn't play in the preseason. Aaron Rodgers didn't. Patrick Mahomes played because he got to get used to his offensive line, which is in the first half seemed to struggle a lot more than they kind of figured out. But other than that, NFL storylines, apparently Aaron Rodgers does care, and Colin Kapernick can stop hating on Pat McAfee because he's like, hey, he just gives Aaron a play so he can whine. I'm like, bro, so you talk about a person you never want to hear their opinion on what you got to say? I'm like, that's a problem the media have too. Like, I don't like he allowed to have his opinion on stuff. That's a free country. You can't just because he's a football player don't mean I get to have my opinion on him. And I saw a lot of people talking about. I brought this up on Twitter. He came out last Tuesday and said everybody about to clickbait and getting the most views and all that stuff. So they just say whatever. And then the next day they all just made up stories on Aaron Rodgers and how he cocky and all that, and how his interview shows he wasn't aiming every one of them did it. And I'm like, you just proved him right. You took snippets of his interview and just used it without using the whole content to have a conversation.
That's the thing. See, I love Colin. I like Colin a lot. And the thing is about him, he's everything that Aaron Rodgers and Brady are. Like, he loves them for this reason. I can't believe that Aaron Rodgers is the one that he kind of hates on. But at the end of the day, he loves Aaron. Oh, I'm just going to go back to my house in the hills and San Bernardino. No, I don't think San Bernardino got no hills. But, I mean, I'm just going to go to my spot in Calabasas. And I own a winery that's a sports bar. It's a classy winery, so you come there and watch the Notre Dame game and drink wine the whole day instead of taking shots like a college bar. You know what I'm saying? But Colin is just like, he loves them. Yeah, I've got Uggs. Yes, Joy. I got Uggs. Why? That says I made it. And he been stealing all that radio money all these years. But I like Colin Kapernick.
Shout out to Joy, bro. Shout out to Joy.
Man, she sit up there and sit with that elitist white shit all day long. So, I mean, you work for Fox Sports and you fine as hell. And you be trying to be African-ish. You be like embracing your African side. And
shout out to Joe. I saw you was live today. I saw it. I put a like on it. You know.
She got a show on Saturdays, man. So after you get done watching us, man, definitely watch Joy Taylor. Yeah. She got her own show now on Saturdays during football. Which are you seeing what I'm saying about Fox?
But yeah, Ben Roethlisberger look like it's time to retire.
Oh my God!
Let's just say it.
Tweet of the week.
According to
that Odie's film looking highlight thing, that's the tweet of the week. That was pretty good.
ESPN apparently wants Justin Fields now to basically ask out of Chicago on his rookie contract because that's like topics now. I'm like, bro, he's gonna make mistakes. All these rookies messing up. If anybody, Zach Wilson should be the one asking to get out because they ain't had every quarterback they go, they'll get ruined. Sam Darnold is like, hey, I'm 3-0, baby. Get me out of here, baby. I'm free.
Yeah.
But everybody else, I'm like, bro, you can't ask to be traded week 3 of the season after your first starting again. Why are y'all bored? Do y'all not have content? And then I've been watching the Manning cast for Monday Night Football.
Good stuff.
LeBron was on it this week. Nick Saban, LeBron, Matthew Stafford, who is leading the week 3 MVP race. Don't mean much, but week 3, Matthew Stafford is number 1.
We're just it's a theme at this point. People that you think are pretty good quarterbacks go to a different situation and they're thriving. Matthew Stafford has never been 3-0 in his 20 million years in the NFL.
Just like the Detroit Lions owner gave the Hall of Fame to Kevin Johnson, they booed her off the stage. Like, hey, bro, he's 36. The man been retired for 8 years. It's your fault he retired. Tom Brady's 44 in the league. You lost him and Barry Sanders. Get off the stage. We don't like you. You're trashing up our team. But yeah. Did Calvin show up? Yeah, he was there. We always show up for Hall of Fame thing. I think it's like, but they usually show up for that. But after he gave his speech and she came on stage, they booed. But yeah, so they have the Manning cast is incredible. They actually break down. They broke down the grunt trap play that I made this for Dallas Clark and now y'all using it. And they break the whole thing down. I'm like, this is what football. And then they have like a conversation about their life and what they see. And then they break it down when the Eagles were playing. Like Eli, like I played the Eagles. What? About 18 years. They gonna stay in too high safety the whole game. So you gotta run the ball. Dallas ran the ball way more than they threw it. I think they ran it 41-26 throw. And you'll see what they breaking down as they break it down. They talked about how Peyton said when the offense ran and the defense used to do this thing when they pretend like they hurt because the offense moving and you tell the ref like, hey ref, the dude faking. He like, watch this. They gonna do this stupid crap where they say he cramping, but then the dude just gonna rub his belly and give him like a 5-hour energy. And Fletcher Cox literally got a 5-hour. I don't know if it's a 5-hour energy, but like an energy drink. I'm like, bro, you don't get an energy drink for cramps. He's paying like, see, he's tired, and then they just rub his belly. Like, what the belly gonna do for the cramp? They made it up, and they did exactly what they say. He like, look, that's what they do on defense because they be doing it. And I'm like, this is actually brilliant. Like if you understand a little football, you'll understand what they talking about. Like, yo, this is the breakdown that you do instead of all them Joe Buck not knowing what he talking about.
I like Joe Buck. Leave him alone.
Yo, Peyton threw a shot at Joe Buck on TV. It was hilarious. He like, Eli sitting there correcting me when I get a defense wrong. Why come I can't be like Romo and get Joe Buck, who knows nothing about football, so he can never correct me in anything else? Why you give me Eli Manning?
You know, and you're seeing the brilliance of Eli.
He is a troll.
That too. But as a football player, he's telling you that wasn't his fault. His stats and when they made it to the Super Bowl, things didn't have to go just right for that team.
But Tom.
He's smart as hell. He knows the game.
When Tom coming on, you know you gonna diss Eli. Hey.
Oh, I would love to watch that show. Peyton Manning and Tom.
You know what?
That'll be a great.
If you think about it, Tom Brady, if Eli wasn't there, Tom Brady would have 10 Super Bowls. That's insane. And then Peyton beat him in the AFC Championship game twice, in which Peyton won the Super Bowl. So that what would it be, 12? If it wasn't for the Manning family? Tom gotta hate Archie. Why did you bring these kids into the world? Why? Sir, why?
Yeah, Archie just, and nobody's saying that he was just a super duper football mind. When you watch him with the Saints, he was a scrambling quarterback, you know, and made it happen.
Wasn't the first scrambling quarterback.
Yeah, man. So shout out to that. Hopefully we can have a show where we really break it down like that, man. ESPN, we on the way. But I will sell my soul to the devil. I will do a Fox cast for y'all. I ain't tripping.
Hey, what how Ohio State doing? I didn't watch them this week. I don't even know if they win.
The score is deceiving. A lot of times it's closer than what the score says.
How they play Akron? Just ready to play Akron.
I mean, we beat up on them a little bit, but they hung in there. Like the first half, they hang in there. I'm gonna give them that. Like any team that plays against us, they hang in there or they keep it close. And then we get explosive plays in the second half, and it's like, man, stop starting slow because I need us to go into them 28 and 35 point first halves. You know, that's gonna make me feel better about my baby quarterback. I got a baby quarterback out there. So
speaking of baby quarterbacks, he'll my cousin started this week his first game in college football as a freshman. Ty Keys, University of Southern Miss, freshman, fresh out of Taylorsville, Mississippi. My rival school.
Yeah.
He came out there and started his first game against Alabama. They got annihilated. I'm like, Coach, I gotta talk to the coach of Southern Miss. I'm like, bro, my cousin a freshman. He just got to school 3 weeks ago. Well, about 4 weeks ago, about August 23rd or something. Why is he out there? Why his first game starting not against them little D2 schools? Why you put him out there against Alabama? Why are you doing it, Coach?
Right.
Are you insane?
Like make him play Alcorn or something. You know what I'm saying? Like let him get warmed up to playing against grown men.
Like just imagine your first week playing, and it's Tuesday. You coming into practice. All right, Ty, you playing this week? We playing Alabama. Good luck. Southern Miss is my alma mater too. So me and Wes from Southern Miss. The first play of the game, I turned it off because the first kickoff they ran back, and I'm like, oh, they scored in 8 seconds. It was 14 minutes and 52 seconds when they scored, and I'm like, I'm turning this off. So I don't even know. I know they had 40 something to like 7 at one point. So I don't know what the final score was. It might have been the final score, but that was horrible. That was almost, it wasn't as bad as Vanderbilt versus Georgia, which was 62-0. But
oh my God, man, Vanderbilt just got too high standards to get in. You want to play in the SEC, but you got to have a 4.0 to play in the Vanderbilt. So it's like, man, I had to skip out on Vanderbilt and go play for UCLA that has slightly less higher standards.
It's some good game this weekend. Speaking of Alabama, they got a young quarterback. He looks amazing. But they are playing Ole Miss this week. Matt Carroll is probably the #1 in Heisman right now.
Okay.
So he's the #1 in Heisman because he at Ole Miss has 14 touchdowns in 3 games. So that is basically 4.5 touchdowns a game. And he was like fifth, and he has like so many yards. So he's going against the Alabama Crimson Tide. They ran that Lane Kiffin, and a Nick Saban disciple finally beat him this week. So we're going to see if that happens. Also, Georgia plays this week. They have a big game. Georgia is playing. Who are they playing? I just saw it. Georgia is playing Arkansas, which is ranked 8th. If y'all saw Arkansas last week again, they got 2 freshmen that runs like 4, like they're like 4 too fast. Mm-hmm. Green, and I forgot Green is 25, and he's got another freshman that's really fast. He ain't fast as Green, but he's a little bigger and stronger, but he's like 4'3", and them boys, them 2 freshmen moving, and then Arkansas, they got them ham hawks. They like Wisconsin. Wisconsin and Arkansas always gonna have them big ham hawks on their line.
Yep, and a decent running back.
Wisconsin don't have to be good, but their offensive line gonna be good. If anything else gonna be good, Wisconsin offensive line gonna be good. Arkansas offensive line gonna be good, and they gonna have a fat tight end that catch the ball. He might not be NFL, but he gonna be hard to stop in college. So that game gonna be on. It's number 2 versus number 8. So that's a big game this weekend too. So college got some big games. OU, Spencer Rattler is out of the Heisman conversation after 3 games, and he's no way he's making it back. But OU defense, which is weird for the Big 12. Shout out to y'all. They are amazing. They winning because Spencer Rattler's scoring 17 points a game almost right now. So they almost lost to Tulane, who Ole Miss beat by 50 points. But that defense holding it down, keeping them in there. So shout out to OU defense. Joe talked about Ohio State.
We don't have another big game until the 30th. We play Penn State on the 30th of October. So we play unranked teams the rest of the way down. So until October 30th. So
I said this week in football. I'm gonna change that to this week in sports every week. But then all of a sudden we got a little more news in NBA before we get out of here. Kyrie Irving is essentially, we don't know if he's gonna play his home games. Him and Andrew Wiggins, basically Shaq and everybody else said trade that fool. Maybe trade him for Ben Simmons because we can have somebody for 41 games because they don't want to get a vaccination. That don't make sense. So what if we in the playoffs in Game 7, we at home, and all of a sudden you can't play because New York laws is you can't be vaccinated. So you kind of gonna set us like we need you this week in Game 7, but you can't play. So I don't want that dude on my team. No offense to him, he can think whatever he want. I don't have no problem with that. But my job is on the line because I want to win rings, and you can't beat us. So Shaq, like that's my thing on it. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comments. Unico, what's your thoughts on the basketball players? 95% vaccination rate, by the way. It is actually 95. It went from 90 to 95 after that mandate.
Man, they should have asked Michael Porter Jr. They should have asked him what his decision was before they allowed him to sign for $200 million. Now he's a super hardcore. Had COVID twice, still against it. So
he in a better situation because Denver, I don't think, has the same laws as New York and California. So that's
I want constant test for him. Then I want constant test. I don't want my Laker team to be I don't want us to get contaminated when we play against them.
Yeah, we older too. Yeah, we immune compromised. All these 36-year-old, 40-year-old.
We can't be having that man sweat on us. That boy, man, if they let that man play, it'll be like how they treat Magic Johnson when he had AIDS.
Yo, I like how that was actually Michael Porter was trending too, so that's a big thing. We're gonna have at the end of every What's the Trend, we're gonna have What's This Week in Sports. So just be prepared for that because it's sports constant now. So that's gonna be part. We're gonna do the top 3 or 4 trends, and then we're gonna do This Week in Sports. This is gonna be the only podcast that me and Joe do from now on, just so people know, because we got our own thing we're gonna be doing on the platform. We're gonna be on Just a Fan and Man Cave, of course. So we're still gonna be together, but this the one it's the one show we do because we just combined it. We were doing too much actually with just us. Y'all know what I mean? Because it got repetitive after a while. Joe got his own show that I want him to focus on more because people like Do You Hear Me? I think they miss it. And I think people miss. I got a lot of projects I'm doing now too, because I got backseat gaming coming out next week too. So it was like a lot of content. Just and plus, I think people won't have you heard more, and they want What's New 99. They want smaller doses of shows too to go along with these long shows. So we gonna
We're
still
giving
be
them the
grand.
blueprint, man. Just know we working.
Yeah. So we actually gonna probably give you way more content because me and Joe gonna be actually together a lot more. But it just won't be just us in that kind of content. I just want everybody to understand what's going on, because people kind of might be confused on. Because I know we got like at least 7 or 8 people that watch us all the time, and they probably was wondering what happened on What's New 99 and Keep It 99. So I just want to give those people, new people,
Just like and subscribe and watch it.
Yeah.
Whatever pops up on the screen, just watch it.
Yeah, but it's something for everybody.
Read the description. Read the description. See if it's something you're interested in. If you don't want to hear if men are afraid of women and shit, keep it moving.
By the way, that show is actually doing well and keep getting views because it is a good one. We put Joe face on it. We had I had to use my boy, man. He getting the views up, you know what I mean? I had to use his face, you know what I'm saying?
Man, also it's a lot of nosy women trying to figure out how to get to me.
And plus, I'm doing distinct graphic styles, as y'all seen on Just a Fan. I'm using that little gradient loop thing. Y'all might not know what I'm talking about, but y'all see it. And I'm always using the craziest comment that anybody say. Last week, Monte said Hyundai's Hunter and JJK was overrated, so I used that. This week, my boy Gerald said J. Cole not his top 50. And I had a bunch of comments that said, is he crazy? So this is like, J. Cole not your top 50? I gotta go watch this. So that show is starting to look, it started today to pick up a little more steam, so we're gonna see how that go. But we got a bunch of stuff coming. Just a Fan, we talking about Marvel, we talking about video games this week, so it's just gonna be a whole cluster of entertainment. So we got a lot coming up. Unico, what you got coming up? Do You Hear Me coming out soon, right?
Yeah, we got a Do You Hear Me coming out. Depends on when I record it. I may not do it on the day that we recorded this, but you know, I could have got off at 2:45 today and I forgot. So Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, look for me to do a little work. But definitely this weekend, Do You Hear Me is coming out, man. I got major beef with COVID. That's why I'm wearing the glasses today. And now I've been wearing it this week, the glasses this week. I just got a problem with COVID. So tune in and I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, appreciate Joe for being here with me. This will be every Friday. What's the Trend? Where we talk about what's trending, what you care about, what happened on the news. But like I said, we got What's Now. Remember to check in. Unico, any last words?
I holla.
And keep stepping. Something amazing could happen. Again, check in. This is What's the Trend. Peace.